Hello everybody, Infinite Shinjo here, and welcome back to another Q&A. And before I get into this, a little bit of background is, well, as you'll see from the first question here, a lot of these are kind of overdue, and I really don't know what it was. I guess, first of all, I can guarantee this isn't going to be up in April. It's probably going to be up in May, just because I already have an idea of what's going to be uploaded then. But at the moment, I have 9 different people asking me questions, so I'll answer 4 of them in this video and 5 in the next video, or however I decide to work it, because there's a little minor update that I want to touch on with a couple of minor things, but I'll get to that at the end of the video. So for now, roll the questions. Amulet745 asks, have you heard about the upcoming Gen 8 games, Pokemon Sword and Shield? I really love the starters. And short answer, I made a video about that. I'll probably link that either at the end of this video or in the description. Probably just at the end of the video will be easier because that's more likely that I would remember it. But as far as the starters, honestly, it's kind of funny because initially when I made the video, I thought, okay, Sobble is going to be the one that I'm picking, and at the moment we don't have any other news on what the starters will evolve into. I'm sure a whole bunch of leaks and rumors have risen up about it, but at the moment Sobble is still my favorite, but it's one of those things where I don't hate any of the 3 starters, because the average consensus that I've heard online so far is a very close tie between Grookey and Sobble as favorite starter, and Scorbunny just being left in the dust because, opposed to a lot of people, or what a lot of people think, is he looks like a Digimon, which, I don't know. I feel like a lot of other Pokemon have looked like Digimon as well, so I'm not sure what good argument that really holds. But this is the main reason I wanted to record this video, because this was like made right after I recorded the video, or before? I can't remember. But I wanted to at least get my thoughts out about this, and if you want to know my more in-depth discussion on it, then I'll leave that link at the end of this video. You know, the one thing that I'm finding out after recording when it's warmer out is my laptop apparently can't handle it. But anyway, Abridged Goku asks, have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged by Team 4 Stars? If so, what is your favorite funniest moment from DBZ Abridged? And answer to the first question, yes. Honestly, it's weird, because at the same time I can easily say, yeah, I've watched it. But as far as like quoting it or remembering funny moments, it's harder for me to do. Not sure if it's because of the off-the-wall schedule that they have with their own personal stuff going on, or just the fact that my memory isn't that great. But I do remember along the lines of Vegeta essentially being cocky enough to allow Cell to power up to his final form, which I always found weird in the original series. So it's funny how they essentially use Vegeta's ego to that, basically to his advantage, and made it so he can transform. But you can leave your favorite funniest moments down in the comments section, and I'm probably gonna remember a whole bunch of other ones that are really good. Honestly, anything with Nappa in it, that's probably a good bet. I really like Nappa's character. Bulma Bunny has 2 questions. First one is, who do you think is best Dragon Ball waifu in your opinion, and why? And that's actually funny, going off of the last question involving Dragon Ball. And it's funny because off the top, you would think, oh, okay, everybody likes Android 18. And at the end of the day, there aren't really many prominent females in the series. Although I guess now that I'm thinking about it, in Super we have Caulifla and Kale, and then, what's her name from the Broly movie? The one that everybody likes. I'm sure I'll leave a note at the while I'm editing this video because I can't really remember off the top of my head. Which is weird because I watched the movie, so you would think I would remember. But honestly, just as far as like best female character, Android 18 is definitely up there. But I think, not trying to butter you up because it's your username, but I think Bulma is definitely up there as well. Because you have someone like Goku married to Chi-Chi, and Chi-Chi's more or less always upset that Goku's just going off training or whatever. But then when it comes to Vegeta, he spends time with the family, and then when he has to go do something, Bulma's just like, oh, okay, I understand, have a good time. See, that's just like, I don't want to say relationship goals, but that's the easiest way that I can explain it. Although I guess as far as the definition of waifu goes, there's also that girl Marin from early Dragon Ball Z that Krillin dated for like one episode. And also there are a whole bunch of female characters that I'm sure I didn't even mention that I'm sure that are somebody's favorites. And that's great. I'm not that familiar with Dragon Ball, like I said in previous videos. So take with that what you will. And the next question is, if you could have any Super Saiyan transformation to Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan Blue, what would it be? And I'm sure I'm going to miss like a couple of them. So let's see. Regular Super Saiyan 2, 3. I think there's also a Super Saiyan 4 that was in GT. Then Red, Blue. I guess, well, Ultra Instinct isn't really a Super Saiyan transformation. Oh, well, I mean, technically, if we're talking Super Saiyan transformations, we could also include Super Saiyan Rose that Goku Black used. But this is going to be a very stupid reason, and I fully know that. But my answer is going to be Super Saiyan Blue, just because blue is my favorite color. I'm sure that technically blue isn't like the best transformation. I'm sure that other ones have like better combat abilities, but I just like the color blue. Hero Voltzi has 2 questions as well, and question 1 is, what concepts do you want from other generations to return to Pokemon Sword and Shield? And I'm going to use this as like a 2-pronged question, like as far as concepts that were already a thing and new concepts that I think they could use. As far as concepts that were done before that I think they could do, I don't want to say better, but do again, is have the idea of a Sword and Shield Pokemon, like they did with Aegislash and Kalos, but instead have like a literal sword like Honedge, but don't have it transformed to a sword and a shield. Have the sword be exclusive to sword and the shield be exclusive to shield. Although I guess depending on how you want to twist it, you could technically argue about Cranidos and Bastiodon, because I think even in the episode of the Pokemon anime when Roark and Byron battled, they mentioned about how Rampardos is essentially a spear and Bastiodon is the shield. So I guess that technically, as far as concepts that they've never done before that I want them to do, and though this is going to be an overdone request, give us a dolphin Pokemon. I don't care if it's a legendary, it's probably not going to be a legendary, but make it water psychic. I know the dolphin Pokemon has been one that's been very heavily requested, but it's still one I want to see have happen. And I think, in the back of my mind, I want to say there's also another fan thing. I guess Unicorn. I'm not sure if that's like a fan one that everybody's always saying, we need this. But besides Dolphin, I know there's another one, but I can't think of it. Because really, as far as Pokemon go, they've really done a lot as far as concepts. Although at the same time, I'm not sure how heavily requested it is. But given certain circumstances that have happened recently, I want a platypus Pokemon. Because back when, before Sword and Shield even came out, they had those concept arts that person drew up about a grass monkey, starter, and a fire rabbit, starter. Both of those we got. But the third of that trio, the water platypus, never happened. I just want there to be an actual Pokemon that's a platypus so I can name it Perry. And the second question is, if you could have one legendary Pokemon, mythical or Ultra Beast, to protect you, which would it be? That is actually a good question, because I can imagine that normal answers would be something like, oh, Mewtwo because he's the OG, or Arceus because he's literally the ruler above all of the Pokemon. And as far as this, I'm going to make this a double answer question as well. One for a Pokemon just to protect me, and one to just have around. The Pokemon that I want to protect me is Rayquaza. Because literally, if it's a horrible day at work, it's snowing, raining, whatever, Rayquaza can just change the weather. I'm assuming. And as far as a legendary, mythical, or Ultra Beast to just have around, Shaman. Because not sure how many of you have been around, but I did play through Mega Emerald XY, a ROM hack, probably sometime last year, and I found Shaman on the Petalburg Woods route, I believe. And I actually managed to capture it, and I named it Rosemary, and it became one of my favorite members of the team. But after an excruciatingly painful Whalmer puzzle, I decided to just give up. The next question comes from Ultra Lucario, or I should say questions, and question 1 is, have you heard of the Scottish trainer memes that have been everywhere lately ever since Sword and Shield was revealed? Yes, I have seen them. I know it's been even more popular because of the second Wreck-It Ralph, where they have all the Disney princesses and everybody's joking about how nobody understands what Merida from Brave is saying, and it's literally just a joke between that and the literal games. A lot of them are funny. I'm probably not going to link any because a couple of them do have kind of curse words, but they do make me laugh anyway. But yes, I have seen them, and if they actually have literal people speaking in Scottish accents in the game, well, I mean, I guess you wouldn't know if they're Scottish accents because they don't have voice acting in the games. Whatever. Yes, I have seen them. I really enjoy them. And question 2, do you think they should use the Power of Us movie animation for Gen 8 anime when Ash goes to the Galar region? I think they should because the animation was really nice. Would love it for Gen 8. And it's actually funny that you mention it. I'm not going to be able to find the actual link or whatever, but I remember seeing a post that said about how the Gen 7 anime had so much diverse artwork. Like, you had the Sun and Moon artwork, you know what that looks like. The Power of Us artwork, that looks vastly different. And then, what was the other movie? I guess you have the Pokemon I Choose You, which is kind of different from the Power of Us. And then this new Mewtwo movie that's coming out. So much different artwork for the movies and anime of Gen 7. But yeah, I think I'd be fine with the Power of Us movie animation for Gen 8. I'd be fine with it. It's very nice. It's very fluid. But I'm not sure if they would stick with that, because they might just decide to go with the new artwork. Although they did that with Sun and Moon and people didn't really seem to like that at first. So I'm not sure. Although I guess the other thing that I have to consider is the animation for the Power of Us was essentially done to fill an hour 30, 2-hour movie, however long it was. So the budget might have to take a little bit of a cut for doing an actual series like that. But I'd be fine for that artwork for the anime, just as long as they don't do an artwork that makes all the fans upset. Because then if that happens, we'll be hearing about that till Kingdom Come, and then about the time that the Gen 8 anime is ending, people are just gonna start saying, oh, I like this artwork all along. Not that that happened this time, it's just, can't please everybody. So that's the end of the questions, but before I go, there are a couple of minor things that I need to touch on, and I was gonna just record a special video for it, but I know from experience a lot of my other update videos don't really get as much traction when it's just update on its own, rather than just have it attached to something. So first, fan-made openings, I don't want to say I've been kind of slacking on them, but I haven't really been making as many requests. But just to get this in the clear air now, I'm going to be sticking to just only covers for anime openings. I think I mentioned it in a comment of a video that was made. I think it was somebody wanting me to do the Fairy Tail opening Down by Law, I want to say it was. And essentially, what it boils down to is I would love to make fan-made openings for songs that are not only covers. But at the same time, I know that if I do that, the video will be fine for like 2 days, maybe a week or so. And then out of the blue, it just gets copywritten. And I don't want to say I've been working hard to work on this channel, but I don't want to just go through all the crap that I had to go through the last time. So there are a couple of requests that I'm not going to be doing. Let me see. Ultra Lucario requested Massive Explosion Dissidia NT. I don't know. I think I might have looked it up the first time it was requested. But essentially, I'm going to look through the requests that were given. And unless they're a cover, then I'm not going to be making them. Although, you could argue with like Beyblade Burst Turbo because that was requested to me. It's technically a cover done by Nate Wants to Battle. So, that one technically will work. But then as far as, here's a good one. I was requested to use the Smash Brothers Lifelight song that Megame covered for a video. But essentially, what it's going to boil down to for that one is I'm not going to be able to use the whole, however long it is, 3 minutes, because I think she used the whole actual song. I mean, I know I'll be able to, but I won't want to because that's a longer video than I would prefer to make. So essentially, any Smash Brothers requests that were given to me, not going to be making them, just because I would have to first cut down the song and then basically just use a song that I don't want to say I'm not that big of a fan of, but it's one of those overhyped songs at the same time. I don't know. And I also want to make my own covers as well. Just my own requests that I made for myself. I'm not going to say this is only a temporary thing. I'm not going to say it's permanent. But I'll make sure to keep you updated. I'm going to try to post to Twitter more often. I still need to work on that. And next, I never thought that I would actually have to mention this. But for my reaction videos, I'm only going to be reacting to stuff that I haven't seen before. Because a recent comment that I was given was to react to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's one-shot abridged that Little Kuribo made. Now that's fine, the video is still on YouTube so I can easily watch it. But I watched that thing so many times, I quote it so many times, that it wouldn't be a surprise to what I would react to. It would essentially be me just saying, oh yeah, I remember this part, and probably just quoting it along with it. So for reactions, it's only going to be stuff that I haven't watched, so just wanted to get that out in the air. And finally, coming to Let's Talk Anime. And the funny thing about that is, I'm not sure if this will be out before or after, but I've already recorded my end result of my thoughts for the winter anime. That might already be out by this point. I don't know how I'm going to work the uploads. But that's not going to be a Let's Talk Anime. And really what it just boils down to, like I've mentioned multiple times before, I just don't have time to watch Let's Talk Anime suggestions, even though there's only maybe 3, I think, 3 or 4. And I just haven't had time to watch stuff, leave my notes, and record. Because I work 5 days a week, and the 2 days I have off are just me relaxing and doing stuff that I have to do and whatever. But I'm hoping that if I can record this question and answer series and the next one back to back, then that'll give me more time to record Let's Talk Anime later. So with that in mind, leave your suggestions for Let's Talk Anime suggestions down in the comment section. I think that was English, not sure. I think what I might even do is wait a couple more weeks, probably maybe mid-May, and make a Let's Talk Anime video about the spring anime from this season, because that video is not going to be too long because I'm not really watching too much. But essentially the TLDR of all of this is fan-made openings, only using covers, not using Lifelight because I would have to chop up the sound and then work with it, and it's just too much time just for a 30 second video. Let's Talk Anime, I'm working on it, it's gonna happen, and reactions, only gonna react to stuff that I haven't reacted to already, or haven't watched already. And Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's one shot is one of those things, sad to say. That is going to be it for this video. I promise that I'm gonna get more on the ball with the Let's Talk Anime, so as long as you guys give me suggestions, we can keep the ball rolling with that. And as well, I can give my own special topics of stuff that I want to talk about. But that is going to be it for me, so I will see you in the next video. Momentai.